But it reminded the opening cutscene when frickin' Nemesis' sword just...
Hey, kiddo, what was with that javelin of light?
Javelin of light. That describes it pretty well. The fortress was supposedly impregnable, but look at it now. It's hard to imagine that the Empire would do something like that. But if not them, then who? And for what purpose? If they wanted to kill us, then why wait until now to use it?
We almost died just now, and without an answer to any of that. Speaking of unanswered questions, why is Nardell here? Care to explain? I get the feeling there's something you two are keeping from us.
I'll go ahead and see my subordinates off to Elmira, kiddo.
Wait, Nadir! Are you really just gonna leave me here and run away?
I hope to see you again, Judith. And you too, Professor. I'll be praying for your safety.
Nadir? Are you saying that Nardell is actually Nadir the Unstoppable?
Unstoppable?
It's actually Nadir the Undefeated. Almirans love grand titles.
I knew he was no ordinary person, but to think he was the great hero of Almira.
Hey, can we really afford to be chatting right now? If another one of those javelins of light falls, we're all dead.
Claude, there are things I wish to ask you, but first we must hurry and withdraw.
Right you are. Come on, everyone. Let's hurry up and get out of here.
God dang, man. What?
Claude,
What was
It's
that?
time for you to explain. Why are you so close with an Almiran general?
Well, he did quite a bit for me when I was younger.
When you were younger? So, before you joined House Regan? How and where did you meet him? There aren't many opportunities to meet a general from Almira in Fodlan.
If that's what you believe, it's only because that's what you've been led to believe. After all, we have Cyril here among our allies, and he was born in Almira.
Hey now, don't drag me into this.
There's a big, wide world outside of Fodlan, and it's overflowing with different places and cultures. You think interacting with outsiders is odd, but isn't avoiding contact with the outside world far more unnatural?
Don't change the subject, Claude. To the people of the Alliance, the Almirans are...
It's true that there's a history of hostility, but why should that mean we're doomed to remain hostile forever? The Almirans aren't monsters. Just look at Cyril. Does he look like a monster to you?
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Right, Teach? What did you think when you met Nadir?
I mean, yeah, yeah, you saw this man just frickin' destroying enemies out there.
I'll tell him you said that. And I'm sure that if all of you got to know him, all of
Right,
your
though.
preconceived notions would change too. I know you guys. You aren't the type of people to reject someone without trying to get to know them.
But how did those Almirans even get past Fodlan's throat? I doubt my brother would just let them pass without saying anything.
Yeah, about that. I actually made sure your brother met Nadir in advance.
What? Lord Holst met with an Almiran general?
Oh, so that's why you were so interested in my brother. But wait, they're supposed to be bitter enemies. They've fought each other several times before.
I know, it was a big gamble. But rather than having me try to convince them myself, I knew it would be easier to just have them meet. They were taken aback at first, but sure enough, they hit it off. They were even drinking to their newfound brotherhood before parting.
It makes sense. If you take the greatest heroes away from the battlefield, of course they'll get along.
Fighting one minute and drinking together the next? Men are so weird.
Ultimately, someone's bloodline has nothing to do with the friendships they forge. Relations between the Alliance and Almira is a matter we'll tackle in the future. Still, I want to take this opportunity to make one thing clear to all of you. After we defeat the Empire, I intend to tear down the walls that separate Fodlan from the outside world. I want to let people and goods come and go freely, and in doing so, eradicate prejudices about the outside world.
Huh?
Oh, so he's making it public what he wants to
Would it
do.
even be possible to achieve such a thing? It directly contradicts the Seros' tenets.
Does it? I'm not so sure. In any case, I'm prepared for the inevitable protests and criticism. New ways of doing things are always met with resistance. During our time at the Officers Academy, all of you overcame the barriers of birthplace, status, and ideology. Having gone through so much with all of you, I have no doubt that, in time, you'll understand.
guess there were a lot of different people there. People we wouldn't have met through the normal course of our lives.
Dusker once opposed the kingdom, but there was someone from Dusker there. Brigid once invaded the Empire, but the Brigid princess was there. We ate at the same table as those people. Sure, sometimes we didn't get along, but other times we helped each other out. Can we really draw a definitive line in the sand and say one group of people is all good and another all bad? If I can realize my dream, Fodlan will be reborn. The old age will end, and we'll welcome a new dawn.
But if...
Save your objections for another day, Gloucester boy.
God dang Lawrence.
That said, there are more pressing matters to discuss. Our next step is to invade the Imperial capital, right?
That's right. I'm sure Edelgard is eagerly awaiting our arrival in Enbar. Reinforcements from the Alliance Lords should arrive soon. Let's make sure we're ready to greet them.
God dang that speech, though. Alright, well, let's go ahead and, it's weird that it gives me 2 save prompts. It's a little redundant, but I mean, hey. You have one with a cutscene, one without. Claude for president. 2020.
Verdant wind. Garland moon. The chaos of war. Claude's plan to call in all Myran forces succeeds, and the Alliance army captures
Okay, Snivy.
Perseus.
See you later, man.
Before they can celebrate their victory, javelins of light rain down from the sky and destroy the fort. Forced to temporarily evacuate, the Alliance army regroups at Garreg Mach until it is ready to march on Enbar, the Imperial capital.
That's really interesting. What the heck were those javelins of light, as they're calling it? Like, I have no idea what that was about. I feel like that's beyond Edelgard's power. So it just begs the question of, like, what the heck was that?
It's almost time to invade the Imperial capital. We still don't know where Rhea is, but if she's alive, she's likely in Enbar. Hopefully...
Oh. Yeah, we need to save her quickly.
I know, but if we're not careful, she'll just be whisked away again. I'm sure you must be anxious to see her again.
Yeah.
I understand. You need to see Rhea again so you can figure out who you really are. But we're going up against Edelgard here. It won't be so simple.
Our next stop is the Imperial capital. We've sure come a long way.
What are you talking about? This is Garreg Mach. It's where we started.
I didn't mean literally, Raphael. I was speaking symbolically.
My earnest desire to protect the Alliance has carried me this far. It will not fail me. I am sure the rest of you all have your own reasons to fight as well. Of course, I understand that the fight will not end until we defeat the Empire. And now the time has arrived at long last to march on the Imperial capital and defeat the Emperor.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? We all come from different places and have different goals and dreams. But thanks to those two, we were all able to come together and overcome all sorts of challenges.
You are referring to Claude and the Professor, I assume? Even within our own odd group, those two are particularly unusual.
Oh, so you are aware that you're odd.
Well, it was simply a figure of speech. I am speaking about Claude and the Professor right now. They're like the wind and the trees.
Huh? Claude and the Professor are?
Right, what does that even mean?
Who is which?
Oh, I was just thinking that if we're the birds, then those two are like the trees and the wind. The Professor is a great tree that kindly embraces us and watches over us as we perch on its branches. And Claude is like the wind, pushing us forward as we soar across the open sky.
This is where you just visualize, just like, I don't know, you just have a drawing of a bunch of birds and branches, but you just like Photoshop the heads on the birds. Oh gosh.
The metaphor about the Professor is solid, But I think Claude just blows us around on a whim. Still, we owe him a lot.
I think that's beautiful, Marianne. I can really picture it. When this war is over, I'd love to paint a picture of those two. Oh, and of all the people we fought with as well.
You mean like a historical painting? I like that. Maybe our descendants will look at it a long, long time from
Yeah,
now.
Ignatz.
I must say, that piques my interest. I look forward to seeing how you portray my valiant efforts.
When you put it that way, we may be witnessing one of the greatest events in Fodlan's history. It's a lot of pressure, but the sense of duty I feel is even stronger than the fear.
I'm just happy to be here with all you. I won't get scared, no matter what we face.
We have our goal. Enbar, the Imperial capital. Let's get to work.
All right. So, oh boy, this is gonna be another long month. Oh, Aloise wants to talk. Let's do it.
Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing?
No, I saw Hugh here and
Are
something.
you looking for help with something? Ah, no. Your eyes tell a different story. You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble.
Maybe if you were quieter.
No, just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip.
I'm really glad that the text box is where it is because, like, I love how obviously drawn the or like, I don't know, they just had a still of like the fishing rods against the background, and that's how they accomplished it. It's like really obviously not rendered. Oh boy.
He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life.
Well, what? Wait, crest can make people live longer?
Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100. And he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it.
So he's probably where I have the blood of frickin' Nemesis from. What?
Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like?
Oh boy. You like to fish? We'll go with that.
In other words, he was exactly the same. When he was with the Knights, he always found time to go fishing. He was hooked on it, you might say. He'd say there was no greater pleasure in life than sinking his teeth into a fish he'd caught and washing it down with a drink. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me.
God dang. Man. That's nuts. Alright. So let's see. I guess we should go ahead and explore. We'll see if I can do this quickly this time. Training grounds. Let's... Hello, Felix.
The Death Knight is no ordinary knight. I will prey upon him. I will quench my blade's thirst with his blood. His focus is on fighting you, I'm sure. But mine will be the last face he sees.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Alright, I think I'm good. Hold on, let me check my... Oh, let's check the roster. I was going to do this earlier. Hello, Cyril. Yeah, this man is 20.
Hey.
Okay. Well, I didn't check that, but that's interesting. So there's Claude and Hilda. Let's go.
I feel like I'm drowning in responsibilities. Claude, take my mind off it all. Regale me with another of your weird childhood stories.
Okay then. How about an old story from a foreign land that my dad told me when I was a kid? Once upon a time, there was a white camel that got separated from his herd.
I'm so happy for that white camel. I really thought he was gonna die.
Was that story really worth bawling your eyes out over?
It was wonderful. Don't you know how moving that story is?
What?
You know, I never thought much of it until today. But seeing you bawling like that, I do appreciate it a little more now.
What's that mean?
Well, you're always fake crying, aren't you? Getting all misty-eyed to make people think you're a delicate flower?
What? You're awful. I only cry when I'm sad.
Claim what you like, but I can spot real tears from fake tears any day of the week. Fess up.
If you understand me so well, maybe it's because you're no different.
How's that?
When you smile or laugh, it's not sincere. I can tell. I've only seen you genuinely smile a handful of times. Like when you're talking to the professor.
Wow, good one, Hilda. You hit me right in the gut. I guess you're right. I'm not so different from you in that way. But how did you come to realize that? Have you been watching me that closely?
I'm afraid so. My eyes seem to wander toward you of their own accord. Hold on. Forget I said that. I didn't say that.
Nope, no can do. Forgetting isn't something this crafty brain of mine is capable of. Besides, my eyes have a tendency to wander in your direction too. How else do you think I found out about your fake crying?
Huh? What are you getting at?
Oh no.
Say, Hilda, once everything's settled down, do you want to come meet my parents? I mean, don't get the wrong idea, you just seem interested in my family. Besides, you've opened up to me quite a bit, but I still haven't let you in on my own secrets. If you meet my parents, I think you'll understand, though it might come as a bit of a surprise.
Okay.
Your family? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious.
Well then, if neither of us changes our minds before the opportunity presents itself, let's agree to go visit my home together.
God dang.
Although, if it's a long journey, my brother might not be too happy.
True, that might be a tough nut to crack. As tough as Fodlan's locket.
Okay, that's not the first one I've seen that ended with a line like that. I don't even know. Alright, well I'll find out how marriage works or whatever in this game. If it even is a thing that you can manipulate.
Yes, Claude?
Listen, I know you and I don't always get along. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry if my way of being is upsetting to you.
If anyone should be making apologies, it's probably me. I've been overly harsh toward you on more than one occasion. I am close friends with someone who has caused me no end of trouble since we were very young. You remind me a bit of him, and I think I've projected my annoyances at him onto you, at times.
Huh. Am I really that similar to this friend of yours?
Not in every regard, no. You certainly seem to treat those of the opposite gender with quite a bit
Okay, I
more
know who
respect.
she's talking about now.
Well now, I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh,
You
Sylvain.
also speak to me in a much more amicable manner than my dear
Rip
friend
Sylvain,
ever
actually.
does.
That was another thing during that last
I have to
battle,
ask,
not the previous
only
one,
if
but
you
the other
promise
one.
not to show me your angry lines again. Doesn't that straight-laced personality of yours make life harder than it needs to be? I feel like there are plenty of people who'd like to get to know you better, but who are scared off by your, well, intense attitude.
Oh, really?
Really. I'd say that especially applies to most of the folks you go around giving lectures to. We're all friends here, Ingrid. We all trust each other with our very lives on the battlefield. Shouldn't we try to accept each other?
You have a point.
I sure do. Besides, with a cute face like yours, I bet you could win anyone over if you just threw out a smile now and then.
I've got better things to concern myself with. In any case, you speak as though you know so much about wooing the masses. But I would wager that many of our classmates find it difficult to trust one as slovenly as yourself.
Oh, another lecture. I see you took my words to heart. Look, let's just call a truce, shall we? How about we agree that we could both learn something from our chat today? If you'll make an effort to smile more, I'll try my best to set a better example for everyone.
That seems like an unreasonable thing to ask of you. I wonder if you're capable of such a thing.
And it's perhaps equally wild to ask an ice block like you to melt. But let's give it a try. What do you say?
I suppose it's only virtuous to ask as much of myself as I'm asking of you. Very well. I accept your challenge.
Oh boy, Ingrid. Yeah, her personality is like way different than I thought it would be. Because when I first saw her, I was just like, oh, she's kind of like a normal person. I'm just like, dang, this girl's like hardcore. Anyway, we got, wow, a bunch of ones with Seth. Oh, let's do this one.
Flame.
Here to pester me, brother?
No, I think I'm the one who ought to be pestered.
Regardless of what I say to you, it is not as though it has any effect in reducing your worry over me.
That is true. No matter where you are, and no matter what you're doing, I will always worry. But that's only because I treasure you so very much. Please understand, I'm not trying to hurt you.
Of that I am well aware. I am touched that you care so deeply. When I think of it, it is my own fault that you have become so overprotective. I cannot blame you.
No, the fault is entirely mine. You were still so young. I placed far too much strain on you, and our lack of resources was no excuse. Worse, I failed to watch you during the battle. Your mother, too. We lost her because of me. Afterward, it broke my heart to see how much you would need to rest just to survive. I swore that I would dedicate every moment remaining in my life to your protection.
Ever since then, I have been afraid of falling asleep. My fear of sleeping is outmatched only by my fear of spending my life alone. Even if it cannot last, I want to live among my peers as one of them, as an ordinary person, similar to how you and Mother coexisted with your own comrades back then, fighting side by side.
Quite right. I know you must leave the nest someday. No matter how many ages our lives may span, I know that's the way of it.
Father.
Don't.
Nobody is listening, Father. Let me address you as such just this once. I have valued the quiet days you and I have spent alone together, but I am no longer a child. Just as you and Mother met one another, and eventually I was brought into the world, I
know. Please, no more. No matter what happens, you're my daughter. It gives me great joy to see you grow. But please, at least until this war is over, let me continue to worry. You're the most precious person in my life. I can't bear the thought of losing you.
It seems I have no choice in the matter. I shall allow you to worry about me enough for yourself and Mother both. But only that much and no more, my dear Father Keyhole.
Thank you. Simply.
Yes! Yes! Finally! Confirmation on that. Ha! I mean, I guess they weren't being subtle about that, but there we go. So there we go, guys. They are old. They're old.
Hey, Ignatz. Drawing again?
I am. I suppose that's rather irresponsible, as we're in the midst of a war. But ever since we last spoke, I felt keen to pursue my artistic aspirations.
Like I said, it's your calling. Don't feel bad about it.
Alright, I'll try to embrace it. And you, are you practicing archery today?
More just double-checking this bowstring. I want to make sure it's ready for the next battle.
Okay. Well, let's both do our best.
That's the spirit. Does that mean you finally accepted that you're an artist?
I'll try to discuss it with my parents after the war. There's little demand for knights in peacetime. In fact, painting might be a more reliable way for me to support my family. I'll try to persuade them with arguments along those lines.
Good point. I'm glad you've got some confidence.
Come to think of it, Leonie, what will you do when the war is over?
Me? I'm going to become a top-tier mercenary.
By the way, I said this before about the Seth Lane thing. I just want you to think about, at least the way I pronounced it. I guess it's different than how they say it, but I was just like, Seth Lane? Flane? Ah. Anyway. Right. Yeah.
A mercenary in peacetime?
Even after the war's over, there'll be plenty of work for me to do before peace really takes hold. I'll pay what I owe my village back, with interest. After that, I don't know. Never thought about it.
I'm sure you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Hardly. Lots of options just don't suit me. I mean, could you imagine me as a songstress? But yeah, I don't know. Once I've paid off my debts, I guess I'll just have to find something new.
I don't think there's any rush. You can travel and relax, and think about it.
Travel, huh? There's an idea. Wanna come with?
Huh? Me?
Sure. You were really excited about different styles across the world, weren't you? Don't you want more of that? Maybe even see the sky.
Let me look at all this. Okay.
Yes, I suppose I do. I'd like to see the whole world.
Oh man.
If your parents object, we'll just say I kidnapped you. Actually, feel free to say that even if you go alone.
Oh no, I want us to see the world together. Your presence makes every landscape more beautiful.
God dang it, man.
Hold on. What's this?
I swear all of these ships are so goddamn good.
That's not what I meant.
You're hilarious, Ignatz. There's never a dull moment with you around.
Alright. Well, I should say all of these hypothetical endings are so goddamn good. Well, let's see which ones work. Oh, so we got Leonie and Sedith. Alright. Let's see this one.
Hello again, Sedith. Oh, full basket. Big catch?
Indeed. Thanks to you, I now know all about the proper use of bait.
Even so, that's quite the haul.
I have developed a few tricks of my own as well. In my enthusiasm, I may have gotten a little greedy.
Oh, yeah?
Once I started to catch fish, I began to pay very close attention to the number I had caught. I hear it is not uncommon for one to become a little preoccupied with that sort of thing. And when I recalled the prospect of having what I caught cooked for me, the challenge was too tempting to ignore. But alas, it seems I have gotten a little more preoccupied than is appropriate for my age.
Well, that's only natural. Seeing what you've already got just makes you curious how far you can take it.
It has made fishing an even richer experience for me. And for that, I must thank you.
Don't mention it. Actually, I should thank you too.
Oh?
Hmm?
Yeah. Used to be, I only ever fished for food. Lately, though, I've been coming here just to relax. I do still eat the fish, of course, but I appreciate fishing in a whole new way now.
Seems we have both made worthwhile discoveries. So which is it today? Hunger or relaxation?
I bet she just found out that Geralt really liked fishing, so now she likes fishing.
Made me hungry.
I had planned to bring all of them to you regardless. Take as many as you please.
Hey, thanks. In that case, why don't we eat together? You can leave all the cooking to me.
It's okay. Leonie is the best. Okay, so Ingrid and Sedith.
Ingrid, are you
Oh
familiar
my.
with the story of the King of Liberation and the 10 elites of Fodlan?
Of course. They were the heroes who struck down evil with the power of the sacred weapons, protecting our land and people. Their strength was passed down through the ages, manifesting itself in the crest some of us are born with.
Yes, the 10 elites certainly possessed great power. But does that make them worthy of worship?
I imagine you ask because they later fought amongst themselves. turning on one another, ravaging the land.
Precisely. Initially, Nemesis and the Ten Elites worked together to bring peace to Fodlan. But soon their ambitions got the best of them, and they clashed, using their sacred weapons on anyone they chose, strong and weak alike. What I mean is,
okay, hold on 1 second. I need to like reread these because I just looked over for a second. And I was just mesmerized by a meme on my Discord server. So hold on 1 second. Sorry. All right. It's past down. I should be doing that. Okay.
Yes, I agree.
If you follow that logic, then you will see it also applies to those who are born with crests. Now think of how your father wishes to wed you to another family's fortune on the basis of your crest.
Yes? What of it?
These are purely inherited qualities. Is it not foolish to judge a person's value by some inherited fortune? That is all a crest is, really.
That's what I think too. Having a crest or not has no bearing on your worth as a person.
I understand that Count Galatea believes he has the right to manage your affairs. I am certain he has his own share of problems. And I do not wish to meddle or lay blame. But if there is anything I should like to say to his daughter, it is this. How you live your life is up to you.
Thank you for your counsel and wisdom, Sedit. Father's hopes were dashed long ago. I will take some time to reflect on what lies ahead. My future.
Man. It's so crazy with her and Cress in particular. Her whole, like, family expectations. Oh my gosh.
Ah! A ghost! I'm sorry! Oh, forgive me, please forgive me!
Calm down.
What?
It's just
what did you do, dude?
That voice, it's... Shamir? It's Shamir. Whew, you frightened me. My heart was beating so hard I thought it would burst out my nose.
Your heart's in your chest, not your head.
Can you try not to be so stealthy when you're approaching a fellow knight?
Your reaction was excessive. Are you afraid of ghosts?
I suppose there's no point in hiding it. I'm terrified of them.
Terrified? Of ghosts? I didn't mean to pry. There's no need to...
No, I want to get it off my chest. That time when we were on our way back from a mission, do you remember what I asked you?
You asked if I ever think about the people.
Oh.
Yes. You said you never do. Me, I can't go a day without thinking about them. The feel of my weapon cutting through them, their twisted faces, their cries of pain, and that awful scent of blood. I was carrying out my duties, but that doesn't make it easier for me to forget. And the dead haven't forgotten me either. Their hatred, their resentment, their curses. One day, the spirits will set upon me for revenge. Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I apologize for striking you, but it had to be done. Have you calmed down?
Yes. Thanks. I needed that.
I'm surprised someone like you managed to become a knight. Or perhaps that's why you became one.
Man, Eloise. It is astonishing how well this game makes me care about like each and every single one of these characters. Like, I feel like Fire Emblem, typically there's always like a decent chunk of the characters that like you just don't get to know very well.
Kingdom capital,
But
and
man,
then founded the Fargus dukedom in the Old Kingdom territory. Still, Fargus has remained a mere spectator with regard to our actions so far. It's not so surprising when you consider that they can't even get a handle on the Fraldarius territories.
Hey,
I
Lawrence.
was taught from a young age to believe that the creed of Saros was just the way of the world. To question it never even occurred to me. But Claude and Edelgard are different. They challenge the common wisdom, even defy it. It is uncomfortable to discard familiar assumptions, but that is an essential quality of the visionary. Indeed, true greatness must lie beyond common sense. That's good. I should write that down.
Oh gosh, Lawrence, to say.
Fighting in the capital? Ugh. And we're fighting against Edelgard. Double ugh. But with you leading us, Professor, I know we'll win. Yeah! Woohoo! Fighting! I'm a little scared, to be honest. I'm just shouting to relieve the tension, but I'll be fine.
Freaking
Excuse
Hilda.
me, could you do me a favor?
There you go.
So much. You're a sweetheart.
Proper? I don't know.
Rhea will be somewhere in the city.
Lazy for sure.
I wonder if she can sense us coming. If we are able to save her, then I expect you will learn many secrets that have hitherto been kept from you. Are you prepared for that?
I am.
Excellent. The battle will soon be upon us. Let us both be at our best for what is to come.
Okay. Let's go ahead and talk to Leonie.
We're finally going to the capital. This will be my chance to avenge Captain Gerald. Once we smash the Empire, I'm sure his soul will finally be able to rest in peace.
I think you're right.
Monica killed Captain Gerald for the Flame Emperor, and the Flame Emperor was Edelgard. I know that the future of all Fodlan rests on this battle. Nothing else is more important. But for me, this is personal. For Captain Gerald's sake, I'm going to give it all I've got and more.
On that.
Enbar's streets are paved with unhappy memories, Professor. I've avoided the damned place ever since I abandoned my nobility. Swore never to return. Now here we are. To return in this manner. Well, I can't say it is something I ever imagined.
Conquest route, yeah.
We're about to put the finishing touches on this war. I wonder how Fodlan will look without the backdrop of death and destruction. I can't wait to see it. On the other hand, I'm terrified of what the future might hold. Who knows if I'll survive the assault on the capital?
Invading the capital and smashing the Empire. I wonder if doing so could really end this war. Care to share your thoughts, Professor?
I don't know.
Perhaps you feel similarly to me. The whole mess puts me on edge. Although for now, better to focus my efforts on the fight at hand.
To talk to this time.
Once this battle is over, what will become of Fargus and Fodlan?
What would you like to see happen?
My hope is for a world at peace. A world in which this present turmoil is a thing of the past, the stuff of legends. I believe those who survived the atrocities of war have a duty to create a new, better world. So the sooner we can stamp out such turmoil, the better. We must win, Professor. There is no alternative here. I won't allow for anything else.
My friend, the reinforcements the Lord sent are finally gathering. Truth be told, Fort Mercius would have made for a better base of operation. But that weird pillar of light changes things. It's pretty scary, honestly. I wonder what it is.
Some kind of magic?
Makes sense, but whatever it was, I've never seen destructive power quite like it. I wonder where it came from. Well, I guess pondering it is a waste of energy for now. Let's just get ready to move out. The capital is Edelgard's domain, so she has the advantage. It's going to be a tough battle.
Just recently, the fish in the pond suddenly started thrashing around like mad. I didn't know what was going on. And then I saw something gleaming in the southeastern sky. It happened right when you were out on campaign. I wonder what it could have been.
Yeah. Let's see. So, how about I go over here? And hello.
That Nardell guy, or Nadir, I suppose. It was all some trick, and we fell for it. I don't think the nickname The Undefeated applies if he flees from us. Though, maybe he only got that name by running away. Can't be defeated if you run off, right?
In the opera, actors came and went all the time, but the people behind the scenes would stay forever. I'll bet I'd know a few of them now, even after all these years. I wonder if they've left the capital. I certainly hope so.
If we can win this war, then Claude will be the king of Fodlan. And maybe he'll tear down the wall that separates Fodlan from the outside world.
Perhaps he will.
I know it's hard to imagine, but I really hope he does. It would be so much better if people could live together instead of apart. I might even be able to live an ordinary life in the world Claude envisions.
Okay. Well, let's see. Alright, there's Shamir and Catherine. Swap abilities? Look. Look, man. Look. Okay, I need to preface that.
Looks like we're nearing the end of this struggle. I'm sure Lady Rhea is on tenterhooks waiting for me to swoop in and rescue her.
Probably.
I was just kidding. Pay me no mind. Lady Rhea's not waiting for me, I know. No matter how much I might wish she were. She's waiting for you.
10 years ago, Dagda and Rigid attacked the Empire from the west. Their final target was the capital.
Yes, I know how to do that
They were
one.
encountered at a port town, long before they reached their destination. I guess our attempt has been more successful than theirs, all things considered.
Yes, I know how to do that one, okay? I just didn't think that, whatever. It Alright. Anyway, so that just happened. I wonder if my friend Snivy knows about this. You know what? He probably does.
Here we are, facing the final battle with the Empire. It's been a long, difficult struggle. We have to get Lady Rhea back. And we have to crush the Empire in the name of Captain Gerald. I don't know what comes next, but we can sort out those details later.
Alright. So... Oh yes, we gotta talk to Gatekeeper.
Greetings, Professor.
Nothing to report.
Momentum's really picking up for this final battle, huh? Even I'm starting to feel tense. Me! Enbar's history goes back 1,400 years. That even predates the founding of the Empire. It's one of the sacred sites of the Seros faith, so it's a pretty big deal. But hey, no need to worry about the monastery while you're fighting the final battle. I've got it covered. I'll defend it to my last.
Okay. So let's go ahead and... Hello.
Just a few months ago, I thought it was impossible to secure a victory against the Imperial Army. But you've shown me miracles can happen after all. I believe that victory is within your grasp.
Ah, thank you. Alright, so let's go ahead. Actually, let's go over here. Hello, Anna. I'm just gonna go ahead and buy some Master Seals. Oh my gosh. These things are so expensive. Okay.
Thanks a bunch.
Let's go ahead and sell, where the frick? There's a bullion.
Is that the one?
2 of them. Yep.
Thanks a bunch.
Okay, so I don't know what these dark seals are for. I haven't had an option for things that use those. I guess I'll find out maybe, but yeah, that's the thing. I have so many goddamn items. Oh gosh. How many of these do I have? Okay, what does that do? Dexterity by 1. Ain't that neat? Look at all these things we could use. Well, we're gonna use it in the final map. We're gonna do it during that stream, because frick it. Someone's gonna say pitfall, but whatever.
We're heading up to Embar next. I hope I make it back.
Yes,
safe
and
so
I
can tell
did.
my little sis about it.
I did that earlier this stream. Okay, Yoshkev, I did it. So, all right.
I hear they got a neat opera house there, where Manuela used to perform. What was it called again?
Middle flunk.
That's the one. My little sis always goes on about how much she'd like to see him perform. I know we can't see a show, but do you think we could at least see the building?
Okay. So, yeah, I think we're probably good. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what, just cuz. Where's the smithing stone?
This one, yes?
Let's see, how about 15?
I think.
Alright. Leave me alone! Okay, so let's go ahead and... Is that it for people to talk to? Alright, I'm gonna check the statue one more time. Oh, Flame, I didn't talk to her. I'll talk to her in a second. But let's go ahead and go there. I don't think I've got enough renown to be able to afford the thing yet, but hey, I'm gonna look into it anyway.
Please. Yes.
And then after that, we're just gonna feed people food, probably get 50 more supports. Nope.
See you again soon.
I got 300 from that very difficult quest. Let's go ahead and go to the dining hall. Alright. Hello. Actually, let's talk to you first. Okay, so... Let's continue to build supports in this area? Hold on, let me check my supports. Let's see, I have one with Hanneman all the way up. I cannot get any more with Felix. Ingrid? I guess I could do Ingrid. Alright, where are you, Ingrid? Speed +1? Sure.
Cooking? Sure, that sounds nice. Let's make a delicious meal. You're not going to throw away that vegetable, right? What a waste. We should use it in our dish. Yes, I agree.
Okay. So now, let's go to the dining staff and Raphael and... Actually, where is she? Wait, is she not an option? Oh, there she is. Okay. Sorry, just so many freaking people.
This is delicious! My absolute favorite!
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
Level 10 classes. Well, let me check that. Oh. 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 Okay. I didn't even see that there. Alright, so those cost. Okay. Sure. Alright, well. No new supports yet. So let's go to our full menu and figure out who is going to need. Alright. Lawrence, Ignatz. Just get you guys energized.
Small Alphonse.
Okay. So full menu. I guess Shamir and... Wait, Shamir, are you... Oh, okay. I guess we have Manuela and Lysith, sure. Oh.
This simple.
Full menu, and let's see, Hanneman and Catherine? They probably have a support. I probably saw it.
This is my most
Okay.
favorite dish of all. I love
Eating.
Alright, so let's go ahead and check. Okay. That is very non-specific. Okay, it looks like everyone is energized now, so this should just be support dudes. Claude and Flame.
That smell.
This is nearly as delicious as.
I'm amazed you can remember what your mom's cooking was like, Flame. I'm just letting you know, okay? I'm amazed you remember. Okay. Yep, that's a good pick.
Your table just...
Okay, no new supports, but that is perfectly fine with me. Actually, guys, tell you what. I'm gonna be right back, and then after that, we're gonna go ahead and do a fight, I guess. And then once we do that, I'm gonna be moving on to, I guess probably more classwork. I don't know, we have like 4 weekends this time. So, anyway, I'm gonna be